Hello, this is John with Anthem Business Solutions, and today we're going to go over how to create a room. So rooms are these buttons down here as soon as you sign in, and it's what shows tables if you're using a table layout, or if you choose to go or online. It's basically Heartland's way of using order types. So DINE would be another one, another common one in here. But today we're going to do one for catering. If we wanted to turn on the catering feature, we'd want a room for the catering orders to go to. So we're going to do that. So for that, we're going to switch over to the admin portal. Okay, so once you're on the admin portal, which is hrpos.heartland.us, you're going to go to the left menu option here, little icon, looks like a hamburger, and you're going to go to location setup, and then you're going to go to rooms. And once you're in rooms, there is a way to sort the order if you wanted to change the sort or the order that these are sorted in. And if it's your first time adding a room, then your option to add a room will be here in the middle instead of up here on the right. But since I already have some added, the add new features is up here on the top right. I'm going to go ahead and click on that to open that up. And we're going to add a room for catering. I'm not going to use revenue centers on this. I'll have that in a different video if you want to know about revenue centers. So don't forget, anytime you see these little question mark icons, you can hover your mouse or stylus over that and it'll tell you what that field means. Now type, you have three different options for type. Delivery looks like this. This is what it looks like. And I just temporarily made bar tab the delivery type. And what it does is it adds this column over here to the right, allows you to see assigned and unassigned tickets that have drivers assigned to them, allows you to see locations, and then you can add and remove drivers. So right now I just have the one driver assigned, but this is kind of what it looks like when you add a driver to it. The other option in here is table layout, which looks a little bit like this. I only got one table added right now, but I'll do a video soon on how to add tables, and then you can add like a table layout here. But tables won't have a tab feature where you can just start a new ticket at any point. You have to assign it to a table. And then the last one would be tab, and tab looks something like this. So tab won't have tables and it won't have the delivery, but it'll just have a button up here that says new ticket. So we use this a lot for to-goes since it doesn't need a table number, and for bar tabs, online orders, catering, any of that stuff where you won't, I guess the main key is that you aren't assigning a table to it. So you just need to be able to start a ticket at any point. And so that would be what that is for. Okay, and then the next field is default ticket screen. This is when you're at the workstation and you start a ticket. Do you see the info screen first where you can enter the customer information like name, phone number, address, etc.? Or do you want to see the ticket or the menu item screen where you can start putting in menu items right away? So for catering and to go, I prefer using the ticket info first because I would want my staff to enter in the customer information in case we need to call them for anything. And I want that to be entered first so it isn't forgotten. So I like to have that first. And again, I'm not going to go over every single thing in here. I'll nitpick some of these individually in other videos. But just know that if you have a question on something, you can hover your little mouse or stylus over the question marks and read what each field means. I do want to have 2 credit card receipts for this. I do want to have 1 cash receipt for this. I do not need QR codes. Don't need suggested tips. I don't need surcharges on this one, although that is something to consider. I don't want to auto close paid tickets because since it's catering, I might want to leave it open until it's actually delivered and then close it out. And the next field I need is require guest name. I just want to make sure the staff absolutely puts a name in there, bare minimum. So if they do skip over the info screen and they do get to the checkout screen or send it, then it'll prompt for the guest name just to remind them if it's not already in there. Same with phone number. I want to require a phone number just in case I got to call the customer. That way it's all right there. I can just pull up the order and see it all. Outside of that, I might do something like, I mean, you could add a guest feedback message if you want to, like give us feedback, or post signature message, maybe just a thank you. Override taxability, I'm leave off. And then here is the default menu group. I would probably just go ahead and default it to catering. So this is whenever you start a ticket and you start it in the room, in a specific room, you don't necessarily want to go to food menu. I would want my catering room to be selected and it goes straight to the catering menu. So I would pick catering in this case. So that way it's the first thing that pops up and it's less button presses for the employee putting that in. And then I do want to add taxes. You can skip this if you aren't doing room level taxes. So if you aren't sure what that means, go see my other video about sales tax, about how to change sales tax. I'll just put in the sales tax rate there. And then that's it. The pre-auth amounts for if you're doing like bar tabs. And then I would hit save. Make sure I get my save successful thing down here. And I did, so I'm going to close that. And then don't forget to publish changes. And now let's see what that looks like on the workstation. All right, so now that we're on the workstation, you can see here that now we have catering added to the end here. So that's selected, it's highlighted blue. So now I can start ticket, and you'll notice that it started us on the ticket screen like we set it. That way you can set the guest name and the phone number and address and everything. And then it also defaulted us to the correct catering menu, which is also what we selected. And that has the correct section that we had assigned to that menu, which has the menu items. Now there is one other thing you need to do whenever you create a new room. And that is up here at the top. And you need to go to Manager. And you need to go to Printers. So anytime you create a new room, it doesn't automatically get selected in the printer template. So you do have to go to Edit. And then if you notice up here, we have all of our rooms. So this is basically turning on and off what rooms are going to be printable. So if you were to order something right now in the catering menu or in the catering room, nothing would get sent to the order devices. So nothing would go to the kitchen printers, nothing would go to the KDSs, the kitchen displays. So you have to go in here and make sure you select rooms, make sure you highlight that, and then hit save. That way anything you do order will print correctly. So if you ever add a room and you notice it didn't print, that's always the first place to go look. Make sure you edited the print template and added that. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Want to stay up to date on the latest tips and tricks? Don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon.